Welcome to today's explainer. We're building the ultimate bulletproof work breakdown structure for shipyard new builds. Let's go.
Ever seen total chaos at the slipway? Disputes over missed pipe supports? Yeah, that's a weak WBS. A robust WBS is your master blueprint. It ensures procurement and block erection speak the exact same language. Okay, 3 non-negotiable rules drive every successful vessels project. This guarantees control from steel cutting right to sea trials. First up, the 100% rule. Every single level must capture absolutely all of its parents' work. Next, mutually exclusive elements. Hot work belongs to steel, post-structural systems go to piping. Zero overlap allowed. Finally, progressive elaboration. Baseline those top levels early, then elaborate the lower ones as production engineering actually advances. We have to descend logically through 4 critical levels. This turns a high-level vision into hard shipyard reality. Level 1 dictates the overall budget. Meanwhile, Level 2 details trade groups, tracking exact costs like piping. Then, Level 3 hits the workstation line like CNC cutting. Level 4, your lowest field-managed work package. Take an 85-meter offshore patrol vessel. Level 1 captures that high-level project management structure, anchoring the whole build. Drilling down into production, we move from steelworks straight into panel fabrication down to the bow block. Here's the absolute game changer. When you hit level 4, your activity equals a tangible, physical product. But codes alone just won't cut it. You desperately need a WBS dictionary to prevent massive execution confusion. This living document turns those abstract codes into clear, auditable work packages for your steel shop supervisors. So, why do detailed shipyard schedules still collapse into chaos? Well, there are 2 major traps here. Trap 1, over-detailing way too early. It makes schedules totally unmanageable. Just stick to level 4. Trap 2, confusing systems with zones during outfitting. This literally guarantees double counting or completely missed work. Your WBS absolutely must integrate. Link it seamlessly to Primavera P6 for scheduling and ERP for costs. Make sure those WBS codes map perfectly to your cost breakdown structure and material takeoffs. Before you baseline, run through this checklist. Get your shop supervisors and upper management totally aligned. Treat your WBS as a living control tool. If it fails, your ship fails. Are your baselines bulletproof?
Welcome back to another explainer. Today, we are tackling an absolute logistical behemoth, the shipyard new build. I mean, we're talking millions of parts, thousands of workers, and budgets with so many zeros that they absolutely demand master-class organization. Which brings us to the big question: how do you actually build a massive ship without descending into absolute chaos? Seriously, try running a project of this scale without a rigid framework. You aren't just risking a few delays, you're inviting a total nightmare of untracked man-hours and severe budget overruns that's going to inevitably bring the entire shipyard floor to a grinding halt. Okay, let's dive into this, because the definitive antidote to all that chaos is the work breakdown structure, or WBS. Now, you probably already know it's a hierarchical tracking tool, but in shipbuilding, it's the ultimate roadmap. It takes this overwhelming, heavy-duty vessel and slices it into digestible, fiercely tracked pieces. In fact, the project management playbook hits the nail on the head with this one. It says, calling the WBS the cornerstone of a project would certainly not be an understatement. On the contrary, it is an entirely accurate and essential approach. It's not just some spreadsheet for a planning engineer to update in a dark room. No, it's literally the architectural DNA of the whole build. The more solidly you establish this during planning, the smoother the actual building is going to be.
To really understand how this works, we're going to take a zoom-in journey. We'll start with the shipbuilding cornerstone, move into Level 1, the core structure, step down to Level 2, trade and discipline, hit Levels 3 and 4, the field, and wrap up with mastering the WBS. Let's start right in with Section 1, the shipbuilding cornerstone, building consensus.
Before you even think about touching a spreadsheet, remember this golden rule: stakeholder consensus is absolutely paramount. Look, every corporate culture tackles a WBS a bit differently, but if the procurement team buying the steel isn't speaking the exact same structural language as the production team out there welding it, your project is guaranteed to stall out. Without total upfront consensus from everyone, the tool is practically useless.
Okay, moving down into Section 2, Level 1, the core structure.
At this high-level visionary step, a standard Level 1 breakdown groups all that project chaos into 6 massive buckets. You've got project management, engineering and design, procurement, production, testing, commissioning and trials, and finally, delivery and project closeout. This core structure gives upper management a clean, 30,000-foot view to track the total budget and man-hours without drowning in the tiny details. Next up, Section 3, Level 2, Trade and Discipline.
When you're running a yard, you are constantly getting hit with high-stakes questions, right? Things like, hey, how much budget do we just burn on piping works? Or, what is my average unit cost in steelworks right now? Well, Level 2 exists to give you immediate, crystal-clear answers by isolating those distinct trade groups.
Now, what's really interesting about this slide is how we break down the production phase. We split it into specific disciplines: steelworks, piping, electrical, equipment, and so on. Getting these categories set right here is your structural point of no return. Seriously, if you don't cleanly separate piping from steelworks right now, trying to make retrospective corrections and untangle those budgets in month 10 of the build, yeah, that's going to be virtually impossible.
All right, zooming in even further, Section 4, Levels 3 and 4, the field. Watch this cascading drill down in action, taking us from the management office straight onto the workstation production lines. Step 1, we start at our Level 1 production phase. Step 2, we go down to Level 2 steelworks. Step 3, we step into Level 3 by specifying CNC cutting. And Step 4, we finally hit Level 4, CNC cutting specifically for Unit Block 101. See what we did? We just went from a massive department all the way down to tracking the efficiency and capacity of a single machine on the floor.
And that brings us to a massive, punchy takeaway. At this stage, activity equals product. Reaching Level 4 means we have hit the lowest actively managed work package out there on the field. This is the exact moment where a theoretical planned activity literally transforms into a physical product you can actually touch on the factory floor.
Finally, bringing our zoom-in journey to a close with Section 5, Mastering the WBS.
So, you might be wondering, why stop at Level 4? Why not just keep drilling down to Level 5 or 6? Well, while a structured descent gives you a highly accurate evaluation of your budget and schedule, pushing into over-detailing is a huge trap. If you force your managers to track hyper-specific minutia, you're building a cumbersome control system that literally chokes out your operational flow. It pulls all the focus away from actual shipbuilding and traps everyone in pure administrative bloat.
To make sure this delicate balance holds up, you absolutely need a WBS dictionary. Think of this as the ultimate glue holding all these stakeholders and definitions together. It's a logged set of definitions ensuring the exact scope of every single activity is tracked and completely transparent. When procurement reads CNC cutting block 101, they need to envision the exact same scope and materials as the worker who's actually firing up the machine.
So as you sit down to plan your next massive project, ask yourself this: will descending into further detail on your WBS secure your success, or will it severely hinder your operational flexibility? Finding that perfect sweet spot balance is exactly what separates a good project manager from a master shipbuilder. Keep building smart, and we'll catch you in the next explainer.